Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner with Jeremy Riga. In our last video, we talked about the importance of recreational soccer and the expectations when it comes to recreational soccer. If you didn't get the chance to see that video, I suggest you go back and take a look because I truly believe that recreational soccer is a stepping stone for soccer players in their careers, and it plays a vital role in them getting to the next level. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Today I'm going to talk more about club soccer, and I'm going to go over what to expect and give the players and parents some advice on how to make their club experience a little easier. First of all, when you go into a club, you need to realize that the level of commitment is going to be a lot more than what it was at the recreational level. We expect more out of you because you made our team for a reason. So, of course, if we pick you to be on our team, we expect that you are going to fall into our way of thinking, because the reality is we only have 16 to maybe 18 roster spots. So if you're lucky enough to make one of those roster spots, it's because we believe that you have what it takes to be successful on our team. And you have to expect that we're going to make sure that you know when practice is, and we're going to expect that you get to practice. But we're not going to remind you to come to practice. It's your job to make sure that you come to practice. And that's the biggest difference from club to rec, is that in rec, that's not the case. In rec, they might talk to you, but it's not there's probably not going to be any ramifications. Whereas if you don't come to practice or you show up late, you're probably not going to play, or you might not even be on the team, to be honest. And for parents, when I talk about the level of commitment, you have to be committed to getting your child from point A to point B, because a lot of times they're not able to drive, so they have to rely on you to get them there. And so you have to be committed to getting them where they need to go. And there is that level of responsibility, and sometimes parents don't like that. And my only advice is that if you sign up for club, you need to know that it is a commitment, and there are expectations for both parents and players alike. The other thing is that the level of competition is going to be far greater than what you were used to at the recreational level. I'm not saying that rec soccer is not competitive, because it is, but when you go from rec to club, you're playing some of the best club teams in your state. And if you're lucky enough to travel, you're playing some of the best club teams from other states. So that level of competition is going to be far greater than what you're used to. And what I would say to players who want to get into club soccer and are worried about making a team and they're worried about the competition, if you're a good soccer player and you make the team, focus on your game. Focus focus on what you're told at practice, and you'll do well in games. And that would be my advice, because I see it every day where, players come to practice, they don't do well, and then they're not ready to play the game. So be prepared and realize that there's only so much that you can do in practice. You have to be willing to put in the work. And if you're not, club soccer is not the place for you. My last bit of advice is this: don't rely as a player on your coaches to be the player. What I mean by that is, don't expect your coach to tell you what to do all the time, especially in club soccer. In club soccer, we will show you what to do, but we are not going to make sure that you do it. And that's the biggest thing. It's kind of like becoming an adult. Once you become an adult, it's your responsibility to do the things that we show you. And the reality is, if you don't, everybody on a team is replaceable. As I said before, we have 16 roster spots. And if you're in one of those roster spots, but you're not showing us that you want to be there and you're not performing on the field, guess what? It's not a case of everybody needs to play. And that's the biggest difference between club and rec soccer, is we're not obligated to have somebody play if they're not showing us that they want to be on our team and that they're willing to put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work, you're going to be successful at club soccer. You have people around you that are going to make sure that you are successful, but you have to be willing to put in the work. As far as parents go, the one biggest piece of advice that I can give you is let coaches do their job. Don't try to coach from the sidelines. The reality is, you signed your child up for club soccer because you had faith in the coaching staff and you had faith that we were going to do our job correctly. So let us do our job. I can't tell you how many times I've had parents try to coach from the sideline. It doesn't work if, say, I'm giving your child information and you're giving them information, because then they don't know who to listen to. If you have your child on a team, let the coaches do their job. It's okay if you talk about the game afterwards, but if they're there to play a game or they're there to practice, let coaches do their job. It's not like rec soccer where you can sit there and say, hey Johnny, do this. No. It's expected that if they're on a club team, you let coaches do their job, and quite frankly, that's why we're there. We're there to do a job. So that would be my advice when it comes to club soccer and what to expect. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, have a good day. Bye-bye.